What's up everyone, I'm Dwayne and I'm a dude with an Autotude, and today I'm here with my friend John showing off his classic European sports car from the late 1960s. Comment below if you know what I've got here beside me, but without further ado, let's get into it. The 1968 Morris Cooper 1000 is a classic British car that's well regarded for its performance and racing pedigree. It's powered by a 998cc inline four-cylinder engine producing approximately 55 horse with about 70 foot-pounds of torque. Despite its modest engine size, the Mini Cooper 1000 is known for its agile handling and excellent maneuverability. It has a top speed of around 90 miles per hour and can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 12 seconds. The Mini Cooper 1000, especially in its earlier iterations, became famous for its success in motorsport. While the 1968 model was not the first Mini Cooper to compete, it continued the legacy of the Mini's success on the racetrack. The Mini Cooper S, a more powerful variant, was particularly famous for its success in rally racing. It won the Monte Carlo Rally in 1964, 1965, and 1967. If you're looking to race or restore a 1968 Morris Cooper 1000, you'll find it to be a charming and historically significant piece of automotive history. Luckily, my friend John has one of these beautiful little hot rods, and I've got him here today to tell his story. You said you've owned this for how long?
The Mini Cooper, 4 years now. I think I got it in 19.
Did you get it from the same person?
Yeah.
Okay, and it was a friend of yours, right?
A friend of mine lives in St. Louis. I worked there at McDonnell Douglas for a few years, from 68 to 73, just when I got out of college. And I rode in these cars back in that time period.
The exact car. He's had them that long.
Yeah, well, what happened, we've kept contact all these years.
Right.
So I was talking to him on the phone. My grandson moved to Belleville, Illinois, which is across the river. So this friend of mine, Bruce, he's an old bachelor, never got married, lives in a condo there in North St. Louis County. And so I talked to him on the phone. He's from Oklahoma, good Oklahoma fan. My wife, being the Kansas State person, they rag each other.
Right.
And so I talking to him, and I was going to go to St. Louis to visit my grandson. And I just talked to him. I said, Bruce, what the heck did you ever do with those British cars? And he said, oh, they're in storage. And they'd been in storage for 45 years.
Wow.
You can imagine that. And they were just dusty.
So sitting there for 45 years, if you do the math, these would have very low mileage.
Oh, yeah. Why did you park them? Well, he said that he had tuned it up and then couldn't get it to start, which, you know, when you get into the electrical stuff, you can screw something up real quick.
Right.
So it was in the way, so he had to move it to a storage unit. And then he kind of just paid the bill every month. So I went and looked at him.
Right.
And I asked him how much he'd take for the Jaguar. And so he gave me a number, and I said, well, that's not bad. Now, what if I buy the Mini, too? He said, well, I'll sell you that for what I paid for it.
Just to get it.
Well, he bought it, remember, in 68.
Right. You got a really good deal then.
Well, yeah.
Very good deal.
So I couldn't resist it. Had a guy here in Wichita that had a trailer, 25, 30 feet long. So we could put both cars in. So I contracted with him, but in the deal, I had a Model A that I sent to my grandson in Illinois. So we loaded the Model A up. He went that way, and a few days later here he comes back with these cars.
Nice.
It took me a couple months to get it going. The original car had a pneumatic suspension system, and each one of these corners was connected, and the fluid would transfer back and forth.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting
I've never heard of that.
system. Well, you couldn't buy parts for it.
Uh-huh.
And I did a lot of research. Finally, you can buy mechanical stuff to replace it, which is what I did.
Right. Couldn't really leave that on there.
Well, it didn't work because two of them had compressed. The whole car was sitting down low.
I don't know if you can get any lower than this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was low.
So how many miles did you say is on this?
27,000, I think.
Original.
Around, yeah.
Look at the top. Looks like you've polished it.
Well, I did clean the top. The red didn't come out like the top.
But it still looks very good
faded.
condition though.
Yeah.
The chrome, if you even look at the this.
Uh-huh.
It's in mint condition, it looks like.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff really is pretty nice on it. I had all the hubcap.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that you can't buy, those hubcaps.
Don't dent them.
You know, don't lose them.
Right. What size of engine would that be?
This has got a 998cc engine. Call it 1,000.
So what kind of horse would that be when
Oh,
they came out?
that I can't tell you.
Not a lot, but enough to get
Well,
around.
yeah, see, the original Mini was an 850. And when I lived in St. Louis, I looked at one of those. I almost bought it. 850 Mini. It was a 62. This is a 68, which essentially they quit importing these in 67. We've decided it came in through Canada. It has no smog stuff on it. No air pump.
So that's pretty rare.
Yeah,
For
to be-
here at that time.
To be clean, yeah, because that's when they started doing it.
I just can't believe the condition this thing's in.
Yeah, well,
It's nice to see a car like this that's
Yeah.
not been touched and cut up, and just polish it and drive it.
Well-
Wash it, drive it, maintain
yeah,
it.
yeah. I changed the oil. I think I bought a new set of spark plugs for it, and I had to finish his tune-up. When I got into it, I found out he had set the points at about 50, 60 thousandths, which they need to be set around 20.
Yeah, a little too much.
Oh yeah, and the gas system, that was really bad on this.
Just from sitting.
Yeah, now luckily it didn't have very much gas left in it.
Right.
So I was able to take that tank out and get it cleaned.
Yeah, I noticed the original sticker you have from 1975,
Yeah.
City of Hazelwood, Missouri.
Yep, North St. Louis County.
That's pretty neat.
Pretty neat old car.
The windows slide open. They don't roll down, they slide forward, right?
Yep.
Or do they slide back?
Yes, both.
So they'll go both ways?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Did you have to put new tires on it?
Oh,
I'd assume
even
the
though
old
the
ones-
tires looked brand new, they were old, and the rubber was hard as a rock. You could drive nails with those tires. Those are 10-inch tires.
10-inch.
And let's see, I found one place I could buy them. I can't quite remember what it was, Coker Tire or Kelsey. I don't even know what brand they are.
Camac, C-A-M-A-C brand, BN313s. I mean, at this point, it's kind of to the size of maybe a golf cart tire. Golf cart probably a little
Well,
smaller.
you can go to Dunkin' Donuts and buy a new set, but
Yeah. Well, I'd like to hear it run, and
oh well, now, okay, it hasn't been started since All Wheels Day.
but that's okay. We can try,
Well, we'll
right?
find out. Well, this has
Out
got
of my
electric
carburetor,
fuel
so-
pump, so
Okay.
they don't bleed down. I guess they do, but oh, the mirror. I did replace the mirror. Just the head, though.
So that's the original stem to it.
Yeah, that's the original mirror. Let's open her up. Okay, let's see. We'll look at the mileage. I was wrong. It's 29,000.
29,000 original miles
Yeah.
on a 1968 Mini. I hear the electric
You can
pump.
hear
Yep.
the old SU fuel pump.
Choke.
Choke. Got to get my foot over there.
Well, what's that tell you, John? This thing, you did a nice tune-up on this.
Oh yeah,
It's been sitting since, what, 2 weeks now?
couple weeks.
Yeah, started right up. I think you did a good job.
It's a nice car.
Well, we should take a drive.
Oh well,
That'd be
we can go
fun.
around the block.
Okay. I fit quite well in this. So that, oh, look at that. This is cool. Things you don't see.
Whoop.
And you can still sit
Yeah.
your arm on it nicely. So this is 4-speed, or is it 5? 4.
Come on, baby.
This thing's like a, I don't know what you'd call it. It's just fun.
This is a fun car.
Yeah,
They race these things.
really.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a blast.
Gymkhanas, you know, they're set up in a parking lot,
Uh-huh.
you know, and go around. sport car type.
I like the dash, the speedometer and everything.
Very
Everything's
simple.
just right there. It's simple but classy.
Whoop. I'm not very good at driving this sucker.
It's got the original
Yeah.
everything in it. The interior's pretty much
Yeah,
immaculate.
this
I mean,
is all
it's just-
original interior. Also is a rough riding little sucker.
Not too bad. It's fun though. So this would be for that ashtray, probably from back then.
It was full.
Was it full of ashes?
I asked Bruce about the ashtray. Well, he says he did smoke a little bit. Oh. See?
The design they had on these were pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, then
There we go.
BMW started making them.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, that's who made the modern Mini
So-
Cooper.
So was it called originally in 62, 68 Mini Cooper?
Oh, yeah.
Or was it, okay,
Says Mini Cooper right on the back.
okay.
Morris.
When I saw this sitting at the All Wheels Car Show a few weeks ago, I thought, oh man, I gotta go look at this. I could tell that it was an original. I didn't realize it was this low of miles,
Just
right?
how original it was.
Yes, but I could tell it was original and not been touched.
Kind of hard for me to drive it.
How tall are you?
6'2".
That might be part of it.
Yeah.
I fit well in here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not quite 6'2". I'm about 5'10". A little bit shorter, but there's still great leg room. And you can get 2 more people back there too, and it looks
Well.
like a lot of good leg room back there as well. I keep looking at the emblem on the steering wheel. That, you know, the design. I mean, every little detail in this thing is nicely done. And something caught my eye was a black top with the red and this
Yeah,
white.
it's attractive.
It is very attractive. The style of the white headliner they put on there, you know, they did a good job. Thank you, John. I appreciate the ride.
Well, the horns don't work. This is not the horn button. This is.
It's there where the blinker would be, so you just push it in.
You push it in.
Push it in and honks. Interesting. I like how they, you know, the back windows kind of got a curve to it that kind of matches the curve of the
Oh, yeah.
windshield.
Oh, yeah. My buddy Bruce, that owned it, he had 4 guys in here.
Uh-huh.
Said they all jumped out and everybody thought it was a clown car.
Have you ever tried to see how many people you can fit in it?
No. That would be
no.
too much work.
I couldn't imagine. I bet you could get 3 people back
Oh
there.
yeah, you can get
Comfortably.
There's some leg room back there, and of course I've got everything back as far as it'll go.
So the seat's back all
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
You fit well for being 6'2".
Well, yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
I find that this is easier to get into than that 66 Jaguar.
The doors are taller,
Yeah.
so the Jaguar would be a little bit lower and longer doors.
The sill down here on that Jaguar is up about here. You're actually above the seat when you try to sit down and come in to a Jaguar.
So this you can just step out easily.
Yeah.
So these windows shut like this,
Yeah.
and then you can,
Open the front one. You know, that's the little wind wing.
kind of like a
they
vent
had.
wing. That's pretty neat.
Pretty neat car.
And the longer we sit in it, the more I notice. And I noticed your quarter glasses pop open, so that would allow
Yeah.
some airflow. And there's probably no trunk, is there?
But I haven't, I didn't do anything to the dash.
Yeah, there's no real damage. I mean, it's just years of sitting, but everything looks just like it was back in '68 with no tears or anything. Yeah, you got the original driver's handbook.
I got the driver's handbook, and I got the jack.
Yeah, probably got all the original stuff to this baby.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It'll probably even tell you how to set the valves. No one in this year, how to do a tune-up.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Nowadays, you have to buy a aftermarket book that'll tell you all this.
You have to buy a mechanic.
Yes, that as well.
I don't bother with my modern cars. They're telling you about the windows, and that's the trunk, or the boot.
The boot and the bonnet.
Yep, the bonnet's up there. Yeah, you have to learn the British nomenclature.
Right.
See, now here, this is the Cooper S supplement.
So it's the S model? Is that what they'd call it? Or
yeah, it's the S, and I guess we'll call it an option. Cooper S General Data. And it had a 1275cc. So I think it's probably the 998. But the compression ratio is 10-1.
That's pretty high for a small engine, isn't it?
They were hot rods. Truly, these things were hot rods.
I need to find one of these for myself after sitting in this and taking a ride in it. And they don't take up much space, I could fit this in the garage between two cars if I wanted. Thanks, John.
Well,
appreciate the ride, and it's got the door straps to keep them from flying.
Now, see, later they took off those hinges. And they were internal. They did finally put roll-up windows in it.
I kind of like these slides.
Well, these are cool.
They give you more room here too. If they were roll-up, they'd have to fill this in. You've got storage on the side.
You store stuff in there.
Yeah.
These are just interesting cars. British cars are interesting. I said, I am not going to be suckered into any more British cars.
That didn't last, did it?
That didn't last. It lasted, though, a few years.
But did you thank him for letting it set and storing it for you all these years? That way when you got it, it was in such great condition.
I need to call him.
Yeah.
He's a good guy, but never got married.
All right, everyone, I want to thank John for showing his car to us today on this very hot day. And thank you all for watching till the very end of this video. I really appreciate your support. So be sure to hit that subscribe button below and stay tuned for a new episode next week on Dude with an Autotude.